what did we say we were going to talk about today?
Well, one of the points that we had is regarding your alpha testing process.
Yeah.
Because you showed that you had got some, not contenders, but people that are signing up to be alpha testers.
Yeah.
How's that selection process going for you?
Oh yeah, because I was thinking that I was going to be like actually selecting people, and because what I want to do is I want to have people sign up and use the app and then give me some feedback that I can actually use. And that means that I need to have like a restricted amount of people that actually can give me that feedback, because otherwise I won't be able to go through it all. And it's already almost gone out of hand. I think if I was to guess, because I haven't counted the emails, but I think there's like 200 maybe that have signed up, like emailed me, I want to be a beta tester.
So now you know that you have 200 that sees the whole video.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
That's
200 of the most dedicated people watching the full video. So that's really good. But yeah, it's really difficult to select from 200 people that are actually writing emails, like motivating why I should choose them as a beta tester. So what I'm thinking that I'll do is I'll just like potentially let all of them, everyone that wants to be a beta tester can be a beta tester, because I still think that the amount of people that actually want to try the app is more than the people that want to be beta testers. So I'm thinking that if I let everyone who wants to be a beta tester be a beta tester, and then I just let everyone send me emails about different bugs, and then I can just find some sort of way of sorting through like the relevant bugs, and which will probably be even harder, because if you have 200 people all looking for bugs, and maybe each one of them finds like 2 or 3, then it's going to be like a lot of bugs to just go through and figure out which ones I should solve. But I think that could be interesting for the vlog or the videos that I make as well, to show like that I'm actually fixing bugs that people suggest that I should fix and bring up. And I think it might be funny too, because I think there's probably going to be bugs that I haven't thought of, that people will do weird things and break the app.
Try to break the app, yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with the alpha testing, and I'm pretty close to a release, I think, of the alpha. Depending on when this comes out, hopefully I'll have an alpha released, actually, I think.
Yeah. Could you like classify or categorize the different types of bugs in a system where people can mark that, this is this type of bug, and then you can read more about the bugs, so you don't get like a lot of bugs and you have to classify it by yourself afterwards? So can you do it pre?
Yeah. Maybe if there's like a system, because right now the only system is like sending an email in and saying like, this is a bug that I found, and I don't know if people could potentially like if we say like, okay, the title of the bug if they potentially like give a title to it, like, okay, this is a category 3 bug, then they could have that as the title of the email that they send in, like category 3. But the problem with that is that there's a potential that people will want me to read an email, so they'll say that it's a category X, because that's the most like all hands on deck type of bug.
And I mean, do you think that your testers are going to be, I mean, it's also hard for someone that might not have that much experience in programming to know what type of a bug would be category 3. Like you have to define, like predefine the different categories beforehand, and it might be hard to like for people to actually understand those definitions and know that this is a category 3, this is category 2, this is category 1.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed like there's a lot of people, or at least a few people that I noticed that are actually like what's called QA testers, which I don't even know if I can explain that, but I think, because I don't know if I even know what it is myself, but I think that it is essentially a person that works in a company as a programmer that is in charge of like testing apps, essentially, or testing the software that they're working on, the company. And they're literally like in charge of doing what I want the beta testers to be doing. So I think there's a fair amount of people that actually have that sort of experience even. And I think there's like below that, there's just the regular programmer, the person who just wants to test the app and knows a little bit. I think that there's not too many people that don't know anything about programming that are emailing me about it, but there's probably more than I think there is. So
what is an alpha tester or a beta tester? Like, what does that mean for those of the listeners that don't know?
Yeah, so this is something that I didn't know until like a couple videos ago, because I asked my audience for like to tell me what it was, because I kept saying like I'm just going to release like a really early version of the app. It's not even going to be a beta version, but it's going to be a super early beta. But apparently that's called an alpha or pre-alpha test. So it's essentially, I think it's like there was a lot of different steps, so it's more than the ones that I remember, but I think it's like pre-alpha, alpha, beta, and then there's something else that comes along, and then there's the final actually full app release. So yeah.
Do you remember the process? Because when you developed your, I mean, you're not a programmer, but you were in the process of developing an app.
Yeah.
And you were sitting during these meetings listening to what they were saying. Do you remember how they went, or how they tackled this problem?
I think that, well, we didn't have that many people testing it. So if you have 200, that's really good, because then you will like, I think our developer said, and he had a lot of experience that he was like, you can get a lot from like 30 people. You will know like 90% of the problems by then.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is that you won't get there will always be people seeing new things that you won't see by yourself if you click it through. So the more you have, the better. But one way of doing it is that you can categorize alpha and beta as different type of bug testing that you can have. I only want you to look for these things when you do the alpha test or pre-alpha. And when you have the beta, you want that they trash the app even more or whatever, because they want you want them to find all the solutions to make the app not work. And maybe you can be like, I want you to only focus on the profile side, and the next one is I want you to do it in this this side on the app, basically. So, but I don't remember actually. We released it a bit too early, but that's also because you want to hear, because that's your audience, so you want to hear from them. What are they thinking? And the biggest risk you have there is that if you get too many people in the app too early, they will like not believe in your company, because they're like, this app is not good. So your brand will be affected by it. But if it's like 100 people, that's not a problem, because it's very cheap to buy them back in marketing. So yeah,
I didn't really think about that, but that's probably true, that they could like affect their opinions of the app if it's just like, because there's the potential that I release an app and like on certain screens the different things that I've built look wonky and it doesn't feel right, and then a person might be like, okay, this obviously is way beyond or way too far away from something that I would actually want to use. Because I think there's a lot of people that probably have emailed me wanting to be beta testers that are not super interested in like using a bad app in that sense, but they just want to try the app because I've built an app and they've seen me building it.
But I think that's better though. It's better if they have applied or they have reached out to you to try to test this app. I think they still have like a feeling of that they are a part of a process. But if you do some sort of marketing with an influencer or whatever, and they tell you use this app for exercising, they think when they download the app that it should be working. Would work.
That's true.
Different expectations.
It's different expectations. So the good thing about the beta testers is that you can basically they can feel part of a process where they can achieve some sort of proudness in that,
Yeah.
which will make them like a good ambassador
Yeah.
basically for the app.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good way, and it's good to have 200 people doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like
Okay.
a lot of work for you.
Yeah, that's true.
I was just thinking, if let's say someone who isn't a YouTuber, that don't have that kind of following,
Yeah.
and have a hard time reaching out to people, trying to get them to test their app.
Yeah.
Is there a way for someone who is a programmer or app developer to actually get a beta test, like get beta testers through some kind of like, not outsourcing, but like trying to reach out to some company? Or are there different ways to receive beta testers? So let's say I'm an app developer and I have 0 followers on Instagram and YouTube or Facebook.
No friends at all.
No friends at all. Nothing. Yeah, I'm secluded, completely alone in my room.
Yeah, just in your basement.
In my parents' basement.
Yeah, of course.
How do I reach these people? How do I reach people? How do I get people to use it? Or do I have to do the beta testing by myself?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think the common thing is probably to like give it to your friends and like, oh yeah, could you see what you find? I think that's probably the most common case in that case. But it depends. Like if you're really like serious about what you're saying now, like if you're saying that the person actually has 0 people in their connection, like no friends, nothing else, then I don't know. I have no idea. Like potentially, yeah, I don't know.
I think you just want to try to find different kind of people, because I had my dad trying our app when we did it, and he didn't even understand. He wasn't understanding the concept of like Tinder.
No.
So he was like, he had declined every job offer that he wanted. That he wanted to try. So I was like, okay, now I have to go to the database and redo everything. But that was good as well, because there maybe is some people that is not knowing how you do. And then you have to think about that. Should we have some sort of information in the beginning when you download the app, how you do it, like a preset and whatever. And you can have people that know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But they will find other things that isn't working. So you want like a broad perspective on the people who are trying, and maybe then prioritize which are the most valuable comments or testing experiences that I want to put an effort to fix.
Yeah, I guess like you could potentially, like if you're that person for real and you have no one really that could test your app for you, what you could do is you could like think about, because you probably have a place where that app would be useful, unless it's only useful for you, in which case you don't really need beta testers because you're only building it for yourself. But probably you have some sort of like marketplace for that app, whether it's like the gym for me, or I don't know, the supermarket or restaurants or something like that. And what you could do then is you could go to those places and you can try to look for people that could potentially want to try the app for free, or like as a beta tester, which I guess like the thing is, like, if we're restricting ourselves to that specific stereotype of a person, then it's going to be
programmer.
We could talk about things like, okay, is that person going to feel comfortable going up to random people and like asking for this?
Probably not.
But yeah, because it seems like if you're in that situation, then you're probably not super comfortable going up to randoms.
But that's a really good thing though to do.
That's true.
Even if you have some friends, if you want to try to get the right experience from the right person, you can go to those places. And I think that a lot of people feel, if they feel needed, they want to do it for you. They will be like, that's really cool. I will of course download the app, and I can send you some few comments on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very true, because in a way, like your dad, he wasn't in any way looking for any job. He wasn't trying to apply for a job. And maybe if you reach out to people, your friends or family, and they're not really into training, let's say, they might not understand all of these functions. What is intensity? What is volume? What do these things mean? And what are the accurate values? Or what am I supposed to expect from this function?
But they can see that, when I click on the login screen, it's not working.
Yeah.
They can see the hard problems that the app will have right away.
Yeah.
Adding a new exercise.
Yeah.
Taking forever.
Taking forever. Yeah. Hopefully I've fixed that now, I think. So that's good. But yeah, it's exciting to have beta testers like lined up at least. So it's going to be very interesting. I am super excited to like release it and see what people think of it. Or now, since it's like quite far from what the actual idea is, it's not super interesting to see what people think of it, but just hear like, what have I missed? And are people able to use the app, and just see people sign up for it and that sort of stuff is really interesting and something I haven't done a lot. So yeah.
One thing you could do in the future, I mean, now you have 200 people, but once you make it available for public use for everyone, you could actually make a YouTube video. This is just this idea that I had. You can make a YouTube video, and you can try to get your followers or your watchers or listeners to comment on the YouTube video. And depending on how many likes the comments get, there might be like, okay, if this one comment says that this thing isn't working, and it gets 1,000 likes, you know that a lot of people agree with this person. This is something that I have to check out, because now 200 people is going to be quite a lot of information for you to go through. But if you have like 10,000, it's going to be way worse. It's going to be so hard for you to try to find out what are the relevant bugs. So trying to use the comment section on a chat, like a video maybe, would be an efficient way to find the most relevant bugs. Yeah,
that's really smart, because I think that's a really good kind of fun way to do it as well, to make sure that people feel like they're part of the app and that they can actually affect the app. Because usually when you download an app, you're like, okay, yeah, sure, I don't like this feature, or I feel like there's a bug here or there, but you don't really have a connection with whoever's built the app, so you can't really be like, oh, I'm going to send them an email. You might do that, but then you're going to be like the super dedicated person that actually sends an email to the place. And I think in this way, a lot of more people can be actually involved in like, okay, I think you should add this feature, for instance. That could be something that people will comment in the comment section. And then based on that, I could potentially do that feature, and it could show that I'm actually taking input and in real time kind of implementing that and using it in the app, which is something I think is very interesting too, with this, like the concept of showing the journey and building it out live in front of an audience. All right, thank you for watching this episode. And if you want to see more of us, you can check us out at any of the podcasting platforms of your choice, where you'll find us under the name of The Exit Strategy. And you can check out one of these clips also if you want to.